thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you for having me.
So this is the first of a series of videos that I'm going to be creating, and it's not about social media marketing, surprisingly, but it's just about people who I know of who I think are inspirational and have a story to tell. We can just, talk about the sort of things that you wouldn't read online about you, talk about the sort of things that shaped you as a human being.
I'm big on mindset and how you just rock up to work and how you perceive the world and how you perceive business and just self-belief as well as business belief. So they're huge topics for me that I wear really close to my heart, and I deliver on when I'm delivering a lot of business advice and mentoring with the businesses that I have as clients.
You talked about mindset.
Yeah.
What are the sort of things that get you out of bed every day?
I like to test myself. I think it's good to feel uncomfortable in business. Business is uncomfortable. There's a lot of risk attached to it. And because I'm so confident with the service that I offer, or the business advisory that I offer as an accountant, I do the same thing with myself personally. I test the boundaries. I feel uncomfortable. I always change the game. Boxing has helped me previously to change the game, to feel really uncomfortable in a ring. I'm no Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, but I just like the feeling of getting in there and feeling uncomfortable. I haven't played football, rugby league for 20 years. Don't think I've really got the skill set to be playing football, especially at this age of 32, but last couple of weekends I've played with a lot of the Kingcomer boys, and it's been awesome because it wasn't comfortable. But you learn a lot about yourself. You learn that you can achieve some pretty great things by feeling uncomfortable. And so to go back to what you originally said, I get up at 3:30 in the morning.
I do get very early. What was your text? 5:03 a.m.
But that was lunchtime for me. So I get up really early. I feel uncomfortable getting up early. I have coffee as soon as I wake up. It allows me to create good habits. It allows me to get 5 hours on the business working day, so I can achieve my goals and continue to push the boundaries rather than coming in at 9 o'clock and being distracted by emails and client calls and all of that sort of stuff. So it's just about reinventing yourself continually, putting yourself in the best position to succeed. And I do that with my personal life as much as I do with the business life as well. But then you just pull yourself back and you realise that you need to change and that you need to set yourself back up with good habits again. And for me, it's success driven. I want to be successful. I want to really help people. And I set what the expectation is on myself to be able to do that on a daily basis. I've done it for my wife Lara. My wife Lara always gets up, 8, 9 in the morning. She stays up late. She's doing, her honours of psychology, which is really, really hard to do. It's really hard to get into. But now she wakes up at 4 in the morning with me. She has a coffee. She gets her 4 hours done, and it's just normal to her now. She changed the ball game. She's distinction average at university, but it's all she did was change a lever. So whether it's personal levers you've got to change or business levers you've got to change, you've got to stop focusing on bookkeeping and focus more on selling, or you've got to focus personally on not drinking so much on the weekend and start getting up earlier in the morning so that you can. They have a huge effect over the long term, and if you know that you want to succeed, all you've got to do is put the steps in place that you need to, all those habits that you need to create on a day-to-day to get where you want to get to. And that's what my driver is. I'm determined to get to an end point, and that's to grow my business and my clients as big as they can be and as manageable as they can be, so I can change people's lives.
What are some levers that you've had to pull? Starting with a bit of adversity, because I can't imagine it's been a smooth path to where you are at the moment.
No, it's not. And there's been challenges there's been challenges that have challenged where I'm at and have caused me to rethink things. And I won't go into specifics, but I was in a business, and I left that business, and with me doing that, sometimes it can cause you to lose a little bit of confidence in what you're delivering, you know what I mean? The sort of business individual that you are or the business owner that you are. So
Yeah.
that was a bit of a interesting time, I should say, in my life, where I questioned myself and what I could deliver as an accountant or a business advisor or a financial advisor. But then I met people that give you more perspective on life, that have really good habits, that have a really good perspective on their business and their successes. And then it starts to, have that effect on your brain and how you're acting and put you back on that right line to success again.
Yeah.
Because it is all behavioural, it's all perspective, and it's, I think, when you face adversity, to be able to challenge yourself and to know that you can do great. It's just a tweaking of your NLP, your neuro-linguistic programming, or your perspective, and you go back to basics. Where do I want to get to?
Yeah.
What have I got to focus on to be able to get there? Take the emotion out of it, and then start going on that plan to success. It's ridiculously simple. I had
Simple is not always easy.
It's not always
100%.
easy.
It's easy
but
to
you
get
question
distracted.
the things you do. So what I was doing, I was really questioning it. I was like, you're overwhelmed by a situation, you've lost a bit of track, you need to go back to the drawing board, hang around the right people, question what you're doing, and reevaluate. And I did that, and because I did that, I'm now far better than I was then.
Yeah.
And when I get comfortable now, I will start questioning it again to then set new benchmarks and new targets and new expectations and a new end game.
I like it. So what advice do you think you'd have for someone who feels like they're either in a position where they've lost some confidence, or they feel like they're in a position where they have kind of plateaued in themselves personally or in their business?
The best piece of advice, and this is coming right from the heart, it's very passionate for me, is that don't fixate any longer on the short term. Don't focus on you're in a bad position now, you're not comfortable now, it's not going to be okay. Focus on something that's quite far away. Focus on a 5-year time frame or a 10-year time frame, and that will give you confidence to know I've got a lot of time to change where I'm at. There's a lot of things, a lot of habits that I can create that will change the ballgame. If my wife can change her habit of getting up early in the morning and having that 3 hours, that's changed her results from, like I said, I think it was about a pass or a credit average to a distinction going on a H distinction average in 3 months.
Yeah.
Imagine if you did that over 5 years. If you're bad with your money, it's okay to only save $100 a week. Imagine what that $100, for example, invested properly over 5 years will amount to. A huge amount of money.
Yeah,
the same goes with, educational skill set. Do a little bit of extra reading every morning when you get up and have a coffee. It might only be 50 minutes. 5 years, it might equate to 25 books. It's insane. All it takes is just creating these little habits, which will have a huge outcome in the future, or a huge result in the future. And one of those is business, you know what I mean? You can't change your business from stagnant to extremely successful in a couple of weeks with a good accountant or a good business advisor, but you can over a longer term with consistent check-ins and reassessing where you're at, and the benchmarks getting changed and the budgeting getting changed and the growth vehicles being put into place. You can change any position, but have a longer term perspective. Don't expect everything done in 3 months. Although some things can get done in 3 months.
Pretty sound advice. I can tell why you're an advisor, mate. That was.
Well, it's what I do as a financial advisor. I say you want to have $1 million property and you've got 20 grand in the bank, you can have that property. Hands down, you can have that property. Here's what we need to do to get you to the property.
Yep.
You stick to the plan, we'll have that property. It's guaranteed. Same goes with business. If you want a business that's turning over $350,000 to be $1 million turnover business, no dramas. These are what we need to focus on and change. These are the levers we need to pull. We need to work on it together regularly, and we will get you that $1 million turnover business. It may be in 3 years, it may be in 5 years, but it won't be in 3 months.
And what are your ambitions? What's your 5 year? What are you looking to kind of achieve?
All I really want to do is work with amazing clients Okay, now that is always going to be capped out. So when it is capped out, I want to then work with amazing partners, ideally accounting and advice partners that can also continue to grow the business and manage their portfolios of clients. So if I was completely honest with myself, all I want to do is make a footprint and deliver a service that's better than any other accountant or advisor on the Central Coast, and ideally throughout Australia by working with partners similar to yourself.
And what about personally?
Personally, see, I'm very content personally. I have a beautiful wife. We want to have a beautiful family. We have a good house over our head. We definitely want to get a great house over our head, which is what we're always working to achieve.
Yeah.
But like I'm a simple guy. I like to have money in our property or property portfolio that we're soon to establish, and then also to have some money in an investment account, which I think of as like a bank account, but it's just where obviously the returns are a bit more like property.
Yep.
I like to accumulate wealth, but it's really, for me, it's just not living above our means, just having a good amount of wealth, and the rest is really just reinvested in the business.
Yeah, perfect. I think that's it, mate. I think we've covered a lot, and I think you've certainly shed a lot more light on who you are to me, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And
100%.
thanks for giving me the opportunity to increase our relationship with these very close to home personal topics of mine. So
Yeah, perfect.
thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, mate.